Welcome to the College Football Show presented by the World Sports Network. Tanner Kern joined alongside Brock Boynton talking some college ball. It's crazy to think we're already week 5. I know I say it every week, but we are rolling through the season right now. We're almost halfway through.
And it's getting better and better each week it goes on, man. I mean, we have our hands full this weekend with everything going on in sports. But college football, I mean, sorry if you got to attend a wedding. That's all I got to say.
Definitely. It's a rough wedding weekend. I look at this year's college football slate overall though. And I look at the Georgia-Bama game. And I don't know if Georgia or Bama are going to be around at the end. That's why I'm definitely locked in. Of course I am. It's a great slate, but this isn't like years past where we had that team that we know is going to be there at the end of it. Like Georgia and Bama, for all we know, Bama might not make the playoffs and Georgia might get eliminated in the first round. You look at Penn State, Oregon. Penn State's a top 2 team in the nation right now. Are they legit? I can't get behind James Franklin in a big game. So we have a lot of uncertainty around who's going to win the national title this year, which makes it even more exciting. And then, of course, you got Texas, who's just struggled with Arch all season long and flexing on Sam Houston State.
I guess his mom wasn't proud of that. I don't think anyone's proud of that. I mean, what are we doing? The dude can't even show out in a big game, but you want to bully your little brother of the state.
I loved it. Personally, I loved it. I think when you look at Arch right now, he needed that kind of game. They needed to cover. He needs to play. I don't care if it's the local junior college team. If he's flexing on somebody, he's got a little confidence back, and that confidence can build on itself as you get in these bigger games.
No, absolutely. I mean, and it's like you said, it was probably more so for himself. And you got to get yourself going, especially Texas needs Arch to really show out, especially getting into SEC play now. He's got to get going. I mean, he had too much hype. I mean, there's a lot of hype, but we got to realize he's still young. I mean, he's not Peyton Manning down prime time at the Colts or Eli with the Giants. It's still in his bloodline, but he's still human. I mean,
he's a little kid.
Yeah.
You see, I mean, I think he's going to be really good. They did a stat on how he compares to Peyton and Eli in his first 5 college games or 4 college games, whatever it's been. And he's pretty much matches exactly what they've done. So, we'll see what happens with Arch. But looking at Texas, they got Florida coming up next week. Oklahoma without Mateer is going to help them a lot. Vanderbilt, Texas, or Vanderbilt and Georgia on the horizon there. So they're still in a position to be the number 1 team in the SEC, I think, with their schedule.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is with Arch, and I hate that we're comparing numbers to his uncles, but that college football era to this college football era is 2 different worlds.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't even think you can compare it. So
definitely. So we got Texas talking about them. We'll talk about them a lot more next week. But starting off, the biggest news of the week was in the SEC. Ole Miss becomes must watch this weekend against LSU. Not saying it wasn't. That was a big game, but it gets overshadowed, obviously, by a Penn State whiteout and Alabama, Georgia. But Landry Kiffin announces this week, and that's Lane Kiffin's daughter, for all that you don't know, that she is dating Whit Weeks, who's going to be a first-round pick for the LSU Tigers at linebacker. Part of me thinks Lane wanted this, and I don't know if you agree with this, but Landry and Lane are too close for her to do this maliciously. I think Lane eats this shit up because he's going to use it to motivate his football team.
It's a family business, man.
Yeah.
It's a family business. She works during the week so he can work on the weekends. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about the same individual that had 18 tackles last year during this matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't think there's any mental warfare going on right now, I mean, what do you think Weeks is getting questioned right now down in his locker room?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the press stayed away from this for a good part, but I wouldn't want this if I was Whit Weeks this week. I want it for Lane wants it more than Whit does.
Lane is doing exactly what Lane had this whole blueprint planned out to do. I mean, and all the cards are playing into his hand. I mean, it's laughable. I mean, it's just perfect college football. I mean, can you get any more college football than this?
Yeah, this is like exactly what I would expect from Landry and Lane Kiffin. Like they're always in the meet. Like last year, I don't know if you remember those tweets where the guy was like, "Hey Lane, if you cover 17.5, can I take your daughter to Chili's?" And then he goes, "She's not a Chili's guy" on Twitter. And then she comes back in and then the guy goes like, "Lane, can I take you out for a beer?" And then Landry comes in. He's not a beer guy. Like there's just a lot of
It's two peas in a
stuff.
pod, man. It's two peas in a pod. Like I said, it's a
Yeah.
family business.
Yeah.
It's a family business.
They're way too close for this to be done maliciously or anything. And I think this helps Ole Miss because Lane's going to be saying to the boys, "Hey, you know what? You're not going to make me eat Christmas dinner this year, and have this kid talking shit that you guys that he beat us. Like
Right.
I'm going to be the one that's been talking the shit. So you guys got to go out and do it." And I feel bad for Whit Weeks because every time he gets hit, every time the offensive line climbs up to the backer, he is just going to be. They're going to be talking a lot.
It's head hunting, man. It's head hunting. It's oh my gosh. I mean, what more? But like I said, I mean, is this not SEC football to a T?
Yeah, this is great.
I mean,
this is great. My one beef with the SEC is this game should have been at noon. LSU, Alabama should have been 3:30. Penn State, Oregon. And I guess the conferences don't work well together, but Penn State, Oregon should have been the solo night game. Instead of as much as I want an Alabama night game.
I agree completely. And not to mention you'd probably have more views on each of those games, but now you're having an SEC game compete with granted, you could say they're both playoff games in ways, but it's like we said, we have the unknown is there, and we have no clue what this Alabama Georgia game is on the line / this Penn State Oregon game on the line. We just don't know.
Yeah, we do not know. We're going to talk about them right now. We're going to make our best picks for these games, but we'll start with the LSU Ole Miss game real quick. Looking at LSU Ole Miss, I tend to be on LSU in this game, a 1.5 underdog on the road. I haven't been super impressed with Ole Miss. They also got they have an experienced quarterback, but making his 4th or 5th start, I believe, at Ole Miss. LSU's defense, they finally have that this season. I think they've been in tougher battles. You look at the Clemson game, not necessarily one to tip your cap at this point, seeing what Clemson has done. But at the time, that was a big win for LSU. I think Clemson still has obviously high hopes, playing a little better then. So I think LSU finds a way to win this game. What do you think?
I think it's like you said, they've been battle tested. I mean, is it confirmed that Ole Miss is having the Division II transfer start?
Yeah,
he confirmed?
His name is it's like what is it's like a French last name, I feel like.
But I don't know. I think he's a lot better than the starting quarterback that Ole Miss did have.
Chambliss.
And I mean, we see every week after week the home team and that home advantage. I think with everything in the news about Lane, about his daughter, with Weeks, all that mental going on, Brian Kelly, his offense, I don't think they're going to be able to figure it out on the road. And I would take the point with Ole Miss, but rather than not picking a side, I would take the under. I know Lane Kiffin said he's take the over. I don't know. I think Weeks is going to have dead legs. I think he's going to have some dead legs going into the weekend. And I just take the under. Take the under. I don't think both offenses get going. You have the backup quarterback having like a legit start, and I like the under.
So I think as good as LSU's defense has been, I think they're still susceptible to like a shootout at some point. And this one just screams shootout to me. You look at LSU last week against Southeastern Louisiana, they uncorked the offense a little bit. I think they keep that going. So we're gonna be heads up on both sides here. I just wouldn't want to play an under with Lane Kiffin and Brian Kelly. The way these guys play, it's either going to go really good or really bad because you're 4th and 5 at the 45-yard line. They're going for it
every time.
They're never settling for field goals. Like they hate doing it. They hate doing the right moves. And both of them, and it's a little cooler with Lane. Like Brian Kelly strikes me as somebody who should not be a risk taker.
Right.
Lane's the risk taker here, but they both like to do dumb things that every time they do it, you're like, oh, why did I bet on these guys?
Right.
So you got two of those. Like it's either going to work out really good or really bad. It depends on the fourth down conversions.
Absolutely. So
now again, the fun ones though. Your Crimson Tide. The Crimson. Actually, let's do the Big Ten first. Let's do the Big Ten first. So you like USC? Talk to me about the USC Illinois game.
I love USC. I think I mean, we all, if you were watching, I mean, if you could, hold on. If you were able to watch the first part of that Illinois IU game, I don't know. I was too busy. I wasn't able to watch it because we had the boys up north, about 4 miles north from here, try and let Purdue backdoor cover, depending on what you had it at throughout the week. I wasn't able to even watch the first half of that IU Illinois game because Notre Dame's TV rights, blocked it because of the 2-hour weather delay they had. So after having to go back this week and seeing how bad Illinois' secondary is and how they allowed a Cal transfer come in and just air them out, rumor on the street is I know people over there in Champaign that said USC got in Tuesday night. I mean, that's 3 days to prepare for a game on Saturday. The time difference is not going to be there. They're going to be ready to go. And after what I saw, what IU did to them, USC is going to do the same exact thing. They're going to be licking their chops and they're going to be airing that place out.
Illinois was a joke, and I didn't really watch. I was at a wedding, so I was just checking the score. But I bet him at 14.5. I bet him 21.5. I'm like, this can't get this far out of hand, and they had no answer. So we were both high on Illinois last week on the show. Did not work out in our favor there. So if you're a Big Ten coach, though, are you taking the approach of if you're a Big Ten out west coach coming over, or even I think it's obviously harder for the West Coast to come play on the East Coast or play on Eastern time because this is a 9 a.m. kickoff on the West Coast. Where if I'm the East Coast guy going back, it still feels like a noon kickoff to me at 9 a.m.
Right. And we're not even in cold weather yet.
No, we're not in cold weather yet. Once it gets cold, USC is going to struggle a little bit. That's why they want to get these games out of the way now. But if you were that kind of coach, like a West Coast Big Ten coach, which sounds so weird to say, coming to the East, would you want to get there on Tuesday or would you rather get there on Friday and just play the game and leave?
See, and to me, I would rather if we had the money and if we have the funds to do it, which it's a new era of college football, I'm getting my guys there early. Yeah. And I get it. We talked about it. I mean, it's distraction. I understand that, but I think you get guys off campus. They're isolated in the hotel. I mean, at that point, you have the full control that you do have over them. You have even more. I mean, whatever schoolwork they got, they're doing, hopefully. But them getting used to the time, getting used to weather, being ready to go, and being fully locked in rather than I just feel like if you go last minute on it, there's a lot of fuck ups that could happen. Bus breaks down, like we're not prepared for these things, food's late, or whatever the little things that we may not think of that take place during having to plan this trip out. I just feel like a lot more could go wrong if you go last minute.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't make the travel team, you get the whole week off basicking.
Yeah, you're chilling.
Just lifting and running all week. Strength coach back on campus playing like dodgeball. I remember, like, not saying I played big time football by any means, but like 1AA football. If you didn't make the travel team, like that Friday, you just like played dodgeball. So
I mean, I would. The university that I went to, I played Division II baseball, but the guys that didn't travel for Division II football, I can promise you they're doing a lot more than playing dodgeball on their free time.
Yeah, that would be so. The strength coaches would be like, because obviously it's like Friday, you didn't make travel team, and not that I never had this. This is what I see from a distance, but like if you didn't make this travel team, you'd go lift for a little bit, you go play dodgeball. We also had a game called it was like backwards baseball. I don't know if you had to, so basically hit the ball, and then every out that you had to get, like you had to basically the person had to run around the bases as long as they could, and you had to throw it under your legs to a teammate like 8 times, and they just kept running till you did that, basically. So that makes sense. And then you got points based on how many
Times you could round it.
but like you could also like there was no foul balls. So like you could literally chuck it, turn around, like hit it backwards over the bleachers, and then like kids would have to like run up over the
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
So
they're watching too much cricket.
Yeah, definitely. It's like it's like cricket, and it was a fun game. But anyways, yeah, I would
too much running for me. Too much running for me.
Too much for me too. And I was a boy. But yeah, I would rather get there earlier, get the kids away, no distractions, as long as you can police them in the hotel, which you probably can. These kids aren't going to class at all.
I mean, they're gonna find a cool place in the hotel and probably start banging out some TikToks. I mean,
banging out TikToks, do their meet with their academic advisor, do a couple hours of homework, and
yeah.
But all right, so the big game here, we'll talk about the two big ones on the slate, which it's the dumbest thing ever. They're at the same time. Obviously, you got the YouTube TV set up. You'll be able to get them both on the screen. But like, I want to enjoy both of these football games. We got Georgia, Alabama. Let's start with them because you're the resident Tide fan here. I was talking to a kid on Instagram. He's a big Georgia fan or big Alabama fan. He's like, we own Georgia. I'm like, Georgia's won 33 straight games at home. I know they don't have a defense. Ty Simpson is not going to do what he did against Wisconsin against Georgia, though. I can guarantee you there. So I will gladly be laying the 2.5 points with Georgia. What about you?
I will gladly be also doing that. And I also like the over as well.
Okay.
I think that it will either be, I think that's going to be your shootout game. And if it's not, it's going to be Georgia by a lot, and they may cover the points just by themselves.
Yeah.
I understand that. I mean, Bama's getting Jam Miller back. That's their number one running back. He got hurt the week of playing at Florida State with a collarbone shoulder injury. He's just now getting back. They thought he was going to be back for the Wisconsin game. And, I mean, Georgia's had their back against the wall already this year, especially we saw at Tennessee last week. Like, they saw their season on the line already. I mean, because for me, how Georgia gets in that playoff is at least they have to make to that SEC championship. Because it's like you just said, they play Texas here in the next couple of weeks. I mean, and to keep their home streak alive, I think there's going to be a lot of juice in the air. I mean, not to mention, Caleb DeWard is 2-4 on the road being a head coach over there.
But he's a big game road coach. Like he can't beat the 6-6 Oklahoma, but it wouldn't surprise me. I'd rather take his team against a good football team than an average team on the road.
And the thing, I just don't think he has the playmakers to be able to do that.
No.
Especially against a Georgia team. I mean, Ryan Williams can only throw to Bernard and throw to Williams so many times. I mean, we saw Williams get his head taken off a couple weeks ago. You didn't even know if he was going to be playing in the Wisconsin game. I mean, you going to back a dude that carries a teddy bear and with his nails painted, or are you going to back a team at home, a 33 win streak? Kirby's not losing at home.
No. I think if Kirby's going to lose at home, it's more likely that he loses. Is Texas game at Georgia? I think it is.
That'd be something. But also something to think about as well is you have a Gunner that's been there, done that already. I mean, he got thrown right into it last year with the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, welcome to the jungle, brother. Like, he's got thrown right in there. He's had the experience, and now he's back at home in his own backyard going against a Bama team that has a lot of question marks coming with them.
Yeah, I love how Jam Miller's back for this football game, but like he can only do so much for you.
I mean, they can't run the football with their second and third string. What makes you think number one back? I mean, you can get re-hurt.
the running backs only do so much when you don't have the blocking, and they haven't been able to get the push. Like if I'm watching that Wisconsin game, there's a lot of delusional Alabama fans out there that think that was a good showing for them. It really wasn't, because like I look at that game, Ty lit up a bad secondary. Like Maryland just beat the crap out of Wisconsin
at home. Wisconsin was at home.
Yeah, Maryland basically just did what Alabama did to them. They've used their athletes, they threw the ball over them. Alabama inability to run the football in Wisconsin is very concerning heading into this Georgia game.
And then also what's concerning is you have Alabama offensive lineman being asked this past week of how are we going to get this like run game going? And his remarks are, we're going to start switching offensive linemen in and out. We're weak. What week are we? And we don't know our offensive linemen. We don't know who's going to be pushing the line for us. I mean, we're almost halfway through the season.
You never rotate offensive linemen either. That's the worst thing you can do, because you got to build chemistry. Like you can't be. It's not like defensive line where you rotate guys in and out, keep them fresh. That's an individual job. It's get to a gap and hold your gap. You don't have to do anything besides that. It's all gap predicated. Like offensive line, it's like you got to work together as a team. And it's like you can't be switching people in and out. So yeah, that's the case. I don't like that. Kalen DeBoer is a dead man walking in Tuscaloosa. Kirby, it's a program game. It's a program game. It's the Georgia program.
And what Bama used to be is now Georgia when we talk about programs.
And that's why. Go ahead.
Bama is going to come in, and I guarantee you they're going to have about 5 more penalties than Georgia will have, to at least. Because again, Caleb DeBoer has been his Alabama football team has been to out penalize the other team in every single game he's coached at Alabama.
Yes. He's never had a game.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Can't beat yourself, especially when you're going against a team like Georgia. And also, Alabama has owned Georgia. But this is not Alabama. This is not the Alabama that we know under Nick Saban, where his protege goes to Georgia and he just owns him. Like, this is a new Alabama. I look at last year's game, how that one ended. Georgia should have won that game. Mm-hmm. There's no reason. Alabama had a 28-7 lead or 28-0, whatever it was.
Right.
And then gave that lead away to a point where Georgia had a lead down the stretch. You get an unbelievable Ryan Williams touchdown that gives Alabama the lead back, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Williams ain't that guy anymore. Ryan Williams looks like Marvin Harrison Jr. in the NFL. That's kind of the comp right now.
Yeah, no, I just don't see any type of – I don't see the world that we live in that Bama's going to be able to get the run game going to open up the pass game. They're going to be way too one-dimensional, and you can't be a one-dimensional offense against a Georgia Kirby Smart defense.
No, definitely not. So we're both taking Georgia in that game. I think that the public is going to be all over Georgia in this one.
No, they are.
It's the right call, though. I think. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what? If Alabama goes in there and beat them, I tip my cap. That's kind of what I'll say.
And if they do go in there and beat them, you can go back to think week 1 or week 2 on our podcast when I did say they would go in there and beat them.
Yeah, definitely. So final game here to discuss. We got Penn State and Oregon. Penn State is a 3.5-point favorite. The line is what concerns me here a little bit, because, Penn State minus 3.5, like I'm seeing all this stuff. Like, nobody believes in James Franklin in a big game. No, not one person. But Penn State's a 3.5-point favorite. It's not the 3-point favorite. It's 3.5. Like, the bookmakers are trying to draw you to that Oregon side. The whiteout is one of the toughest environments in all college football. It's a game for me that I hate to do it, but I need to take Penn State because James Franklin, they have to have this game. And this isn't Michigan or Ohio State. This is Oregon.
Right.
Difference. Like, he can't beat Michigan or Ohio State. Those are the majority of big games he has played in. So it's one that I think Penn State has to win. They might play in the Big Ten championship later in the year and Oregon smokes them. I don't know. But Penn State has to win this game.
James Franklin is 4-20 against top 10 teams in his career.
But how many of those have been Ohio State, Michigan? That's what you need to consider too,
6 of them? What? 6 of them?
At least I would say.
3.5 though.
Yeah, I know. I take money line to parlay.
3.5 against a quarterback that his QBR rating right now is like 85th in the country.
Who, Aller?
Oh yeah.
They haven't played it. That's another concern I have.
That's the thing. They haven't played anyone. You're telling me he's sitting 85th in the country? Last week he was 114th.
This could be, so there's two ways I see this game playing out. It's Penn State wins it. It's sloppy, it's ugly, but like the whiteout carries them to the victory. Or on the flip side, it could be it could be that too. And it could be like Aller becomes the next Will Howard.
Oh, okay.
It gets better. And they go on to compete for a national championship. I don't look at them as a national championship team. And everyone's saying they're the best team in the nation. Like, I just don't. I think they're better than Ohio State. I will stand on that. I think they're better than Ohio State.
Okay.
I don't know if they're better than Oregon though. This Oregon team is not last year's Oregon team.
It's not
better. It's a whiteout game. Penn State has to win it.
The reason why I gave you the double thumbs down is because I love Oregon's mentality in that coach. Yeah. I mean, you just know when that. I mean, I personally think his guys will be ready for that whiteout. I think 3.5 is too much. I understand Penn State has a freaking, I mean, they got a 1-2 fucking KO behind Aller with their running back crew. I understand that for sure. And I don't think Oregon, I didn't think Oregon's run defense was good last year, and I don't think it's good this year either. Yep. But I think the difference is, once again, I will be taking Drew Aller for and throw an interception at one point during this game. He's always good for one. I mean, you saw Oregon's DB from last year, outside linebacker DB. I mean, you see him going at him to Drew on Instagram last night?
No, I didn't see that.
Posted the clip from last year of him intercepting Aller and put that on a story. I mean, I just think it's too easy. I think I don't care he's from Ohio. When I see a dude that looks like that, I know you're you're softer than puppy shit. And when you almost crying on the sideline last year, and then you have all the hype of being, oh, well, if he would have gotten the draft this past year, he would have been the number one quarterback. Bullshit. Yeah. Because this is the same dude that hasn't done jack at his time at Penn State. Has he won a Big Ten championship at Penn State?
No, I don't think so.
Maybe he won a playoff game against a team that they should have won at home.
Yeah, I mean, you should beat Notre Dame, or should have at least been in a position to beat Notre Dame down the stretch there.
Oregon plus 3.5 all day.
All right, I like Penn State. I don't know if I would lay the points with Penn State, but I think I can say Penn State's going to win the game. They have to win the game.
But the thing, I agree. I understand completely. It is this is a job. This is a job. This is a booster game. This is not a job game for James. This is a booster game. How much money of NIL are you gonna lose if you lose this game?
That's the hard thing too for these coaches and stuff, because like, who's better than James Franklin? Find me a coach who's going to do more than James Franklin. Like, what? He's a great recruiter. He wins all these games. Penn State is a top 25 team every year.
They're going to win. They're going to win 9 or 10 games every year.
He took what Bill O'Brien brought the program back after the Sandusky stuff. And then, then James Franklin comes in, takes it to a whole nother level. They're going to win 10 games a year. You're going to lose. Hopefully you don't play Michigan and Ohio State in the same season, because I don't think you always do. Like, they don't have Michigan this year. Yeah. So like, this is a year you worst case you're losing 2 games and you're still getting in.
Right.
So, but you got to win this one. This is one that you have to win. Yeah. So they go Oregon, UCLA, Northwestern, Iowa, Ohio State. Indiana is going to be a dogfight for them, though.
Is that there, or
it's in Penn State? At Penn State.
See the thing. Give me James Franklin all day. I don't think IU can beat up on a big dog.
Yeah, you're right. Good point. But also, too, it's right after the Ohio State game on the road.
So you get out Ohio State game healthy, you're going to get that win back.
If you beat Ohio State, I think Indiana's got a better chance of knocking you off.
Yes. Complete 100%.
If you lose to Ohio State, I think you're gonna smack Indiana around. Michigan State, Nebraska, Rutgers, trash. You know,
Yeah.
like so. All right, I guess we're heads up a lot this week, Brock. We're heads up a lot.
Yeah. No, it's also the reason why maybe I'll make a couple tickets with Penn State money line, but I do have a couple tickets that I bought Oregon up to +10.
Yeah.
I don't see, like you said, I see it being close. I think whoever wins, I just think it's gonna be a close game. I don't see either team being blown out in this.
No. Yeah, I think both Georgia and Alabama. Georgia's got a better chance of blowing Alabama off the field than Penn State or Oregon have a blowing.
100%.
Yeah, I think that's the one that could get out of hand. I think the rest of the games are going to be close. And again, that game probably doesn't get out of hand, but it has the ability to because Alabama's just not.
Right.
They're not.
They're not what they think they are.
No. And this is a big game for Kalen DeBoer, too. This is one, the scene, remember the Titans where Coach Boone's throwing up before the game because like they told him you can't lose a game. You're going to get kicked out. You're going to be done. That's what I feel like Kalen DeBoer is like going into games.
Every week after week. And it's only going to get worse, too, because after they lose this week, I mean, shit, you saw what that woman said if she won the lottery.
Yeah, she's like,
she won the Powerball.
Take 70 million and get Coach to buy out Coach DeBoer.
I mean, she said she's not even worried about herself. The only thing is on her mind is just buying out Caleb DeBoer as a fucking Alabama resident.
It just means more in the South. That's all it is. It just means more. I mean, you know what? DeBoer has to win this game. He's just not going to do it. And again, he's not going to get fired this year. You probably go one more year with him and see where you're at. But they're not. Kirby's got that program to a point. Like it's
dialed.
33 straight wins at home. Like he does not lose at home. He ain't going to lose at home this weekend.
The type of game that they had 2 weeks ago at Tennessee. Not to mention, everyone's talking about Alabama coming off a bye. Georgia's coming off a bye.
And you had probably the worst defensive game of your life, and you have 2 weeks to clean it.
I would not want to be at practice the last 2 weeks with Kirby.
No, but that's a huge win for your program. Like you got best case scenario. Like you didn't go in the game and dominate, so you're not high for 2 weeks coming. You came in the game, you found a way to win. You're still alive, but we got a lot to clean up, and we got 2 weeks to do it. And they were able, obviously, to. I trust Kirby Smart to be able to do that this week.
Right.
So, any other final thoughts, Brock, before we sign off here?
What do you? I like Florida State tonight, man.
I think so. I like
Florida State. I like it. I know the line's the way it is because old Tommy Boy left last week with the shoulder.
Virginia's trash.
Virginia's trash. Man.
They're really bad. So Castellanos isn't starting tonight then?
No, he is. He is.
Okay.
He is. But that's why I just felt like when I saw that line earlier this week, I got it earlier this week at 6.5. And now it was been bouncing around. It was like 7.5. I'm looking at my casino sheet right here. They have it listed at 7.5. So if you could get it at 6.5, I think obviously it's just a lot better number. Mm-hmm. But we're gonna cook the people up. I mean, we're right there.
Yeah.
Every week we're right there.
All right, so let's cook one up this week. I'm going to go back to my UConn Huskies to start it off.
Let's do it.
UConn money line on the road. UConn money line on the road against Buffalo -172. Good value. They have not played well. They're going to respond this week.
Let's give me USC in the 6.5.
All right, USC 6.5 here. Okay,
we're both on Georgia.
Yeah, we're both on Georgia, USC. Let's play it safe. Let's just do all money lines here. I don't even want to lay 6.5. Let's just go money line. Why not? All right, Georgia. Georgia's going to roll. Okay, so we got Georgia on here, money line. Okay. Mm-hmm. Penn State, we're heads up on that one, so we're going to stay away from that.
Sounds good.
All right, so we're +269, UConn, USC, Georgia right there.
And if you want to get sneaky, my favorite play this week, I got it earlier, was Iowa State. I believe they got Arizona. I got them at -5.5.
Iowa
I think
State
that.
money line at home against Arizona is
Yep.
-230. So we
Yep.
like
There.
that. And then I like Tennessee on the road against Mississippi State.
Oh yes, I got them in my teasers. I got them teased all the way down. I mean, the teaser brings them basically down to money line. So
UConn, USC, Georgia, Iowa State, Tennessee +629 right there. That's pretty juicy.
that sounds like a winner.
That sounds like I mean, you're gonna swell out the Georgia game, obviously, but everything else should take care of itself.
Sounds like a winner, man.
I like it. I'm feeling that's probably my favorite one so far. 5 legger.
And it's like you said, it's juicy, man. I mean, $100 gets you a $700 payout, man.
Very, very juicy. But anyways, guys, that was the pod for the week. We're gonna keep cooking these up. We're gonna keep trying to win them. You guys keep sticking with us here. We'll be back next Friday for another show. We'll actually have an in-person show too in November. Very excited about that.
It's gonna be electrifying. Let's go.
It's gonna be electric.
Let's go.
So we'll be doing a lot of that stuff, guys, coming up. And make sure you subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the podcast, and we'll talk to you next week for another episode of the College Football Show.